Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. Been some outstanding shot making to this point. Let's see what's happening now as we resume the action at the 7th. Been a steady performance so far early in this first round, but at some point, Frank, they need to take steady to spectacular.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Rich, and really sooner rather than later, that's for sure. But, yeah, steady becomes boring if it stays on for too long.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par.
And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Don't leave it short. Wow.
Even par currently.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Frank, you like this kind of design feature where you go from the longest hole in the course immediately to the shortest hole.
Certainly, golf giveth and golf taketh away. This is just minimally uphill, just a couple of feet, but you can see from the overview the design of the green. When that flag's on the right, it's a little bit of a longer carry, so just be a little cognizant of that. You don't have to hit it directly at the flag.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Still even par for the day. So we'll round out the front side here at Banff Springs with a par 5 and reasonably short at only 501 yards.
So very reachable because of that yardage that you just referenced. Hole bends a little bit to the right. You can favor the left side with a tee shot. It's just going to make that angle on the second a little bit easier.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway.
Second shot. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Yeah, it was a little over-ambitious.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut. So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Shouldn't be a problem here. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that one.
Tough to watch. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We are back on this beautiful day here at Banff Springs in the Canadian Rockies, set to kick off all the action on the back nine. The 10th begin with a par 3, Frank, 218 yards.
And I have no idea why this is called Little Bow, because over 200 yards, you really have to bow up with this tee shot here, that's for sure. Bending there, you need something that comes out of the gate very, very straight and with a decent height on it as well, if you want to land on that left side of the green and make it stop.
Wow, Frank, he did well just to get it on the green from that lie.
I didn't think that was doable.
No, that's not the way you want to start the back nine. Missed putt, bogey, and a drop shot. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live second round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. This is a good-sized par 3, 210 yards. Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right.
It's no snack, though. Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé and getting ready for the putt. So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Well, here we are at the 14th hole. It's a par 4, 442 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, but if you were spraying it off the tee here, then there's all sorts of problems. Bunkers left, trees right. This is a fairway you must hit.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut. Not too bad.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Just a couple of feet. And that's a bogey. Frank, looking out here on the 15th hole, this looks like a spot where you could really crank one that you could tell your buddies about.
It's another hole that suits a player that hits the ball right to left. It's no surprise to see why Rory McIlroy plays well around here. Nice, big, high-towering draw. It's going to go that extra yardage because of the elevation.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Wow, way to the right here.
And there's rough over there.
That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunker should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is a fairway, you'll certainly hit.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Well, the best in the game don't do it any better. McIlroy, Fowler, Duffner, they'd be impressed by that bunker shot. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Frank, as we make our way to the house, a chance here at the 17th, just 374 yards, a chance for a birdie.
It certainly is. Anytime you see a hole today under 400 yards, a par 4 that is, you know you're going to get a short on your eye. You know you're going to get a short iron in your hand if you hit a good tee shot. Just avoid the bunkers left and right off the tee. Green does slope back to front. so it pitches nicely towards you, making that second shot, if anything, a little easier.
So it was a conservative play off the tee. What are we looking at now on this approach shot here at 17, Frank?
Well, the reason why you play a conservative tee shot is so that you can go directly at the flag, and that's exactly what you have here. It's just all about yardage.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
So just a formality here. And he makes it for par. Well, here we are at the final hole here at Banff Springs, 578-yard par 5, and Frank, a chance to finish the round with a flourish.
If you're one of the fortunate to hit this fairway, it's very reachable, but well protected by bunkers, left, right, central bunkers as well. You really have to be aware of two things, the wind direction and exactly how far you can carry that tee shot if you want to find this fairway.
And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank, this is a shot any player would love to have. Trying to finish off a round, par 5 18th. What are we looking at?
Well, half the job's done with that tee shot, which was just tremendous, Rich. Now, it really is a big opportunity. If you can just sort of flush that second shot, it's a big green. A good chance coming up ahead here for an eagle, at least a birdie.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. He's made it. Here we are at the 18th at Banff Springs, 578-yard par 5. Frank, did you like to finish a round with a par 5?
Certainly if I could birdie it, that's for sure. And there's a good chance here at 18 you can, but there's bunkers galore. They're all in play for various standards of play. But the reward is if you can pump one down the middle of the fairway there, and then you reduce this par 5 to simply a drive and an iron.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present opening round coverage of the PGA Championship. We're here at Whistling Straits in Kohler, Wisconsin for the PGA Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the championship action. Frank, what's in store for our golfers today under these major championship conditions?
It's a Pete Dye special, Rich. Bunkers, I've lost count of the number of bunkers at Whistling Straits, but already it's been the host of several PGA championships, so it's a test for the great players of the world. But really, you've got to tip your cap to the designer. He'll tell you that building Whistling Straits was a, quote, once-in-a-lifetime thing. To see Lake Michigan around the golf course, it looks just like it's not real. It looks like you're playing on the moon sometimes. It's an amazing venue. Long and straight.
That's how you do it.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
And this attempt will be from about 130 yards. That shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close, that's good. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Moves into the top 20 after the par. Ready to tee off at this magnificent second hole. Frank, all I see are bunkers and water.
Well, that's pretty much what everybody else is going to see as well. Ideally, hit it down the left, though, and then you don't have a blind second shot. Even though you can be on the fairway on the right side, well, you won't see the green.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. And setting up here in the rough. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. So a tester from 4 feet.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Now the stunning 188-yard par 3 third here at Whistling Straits.
Yeah, the green angles to the left. You have to be careful because it's well protected by those huge bunkers and dunes on the left.
Headed for the bunker? Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a drop shot here at the third hole, Frank.
Yeah, another putt missed.
and getting ready for the putt. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. These putts keep the round together. Ooh, I thought he had that. Well, once he hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Frank, it's absolutely breathtaking, isn't it? I mean, you look left and all you see are the waters of Lake Michigan. It's called glory.
Well, that's one of the amazing things that Pete Dye has done in his design of this great golf course, is to incorporate all the natural vistas that are available.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, what are we looking at here with this approach shot to the fourth?
Well, just like a lot of holes at Whistling Straits, with the water on the left, if you're going to err anyway, you err on the high side.
Birdie chance here on this very long putt. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in you, Rich.
Not what he had in mind when he stepped to the tee, but it would be just one drop shot. This for bogey. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present second round coverage of the PGA Championship. Major championships are where the world's best golfers rise to the occasion, trying to etch their names into the record books. Today, we will see which golfer grabs the spotlight here at the PGA Championship. It is the season's final major championship here at Whistling Straits Scenic Golf Course, playing host to all the action. Back down now to hole number 6. That is not the way he wanted to start out this second round. Frank, what does he need to do in order to put himself in better position for the weekend?
Have a convenient memory right now, and that's going to be tough too, because that one is up front and personal.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, where has that been?
Well, thank God for small mercies.
Another magnificent hole here at Whistling Straits. Nothing but water on the right and a huge drop-off down to the beach.
Yeah, if you're struggling with your golf, just take a little breath and look right. It'll be a great elixir.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green.
Well, that was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole. Settles in over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Frank, when we stop staring at Lake Michigan in the background, what should we be focusing on this shot?
Well, somehow you've got to thread a long iron in between the bunkers on the left and the bunkers on the right onto a very, very narrow green.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Very respectable approach shot in a good spot.
It's no snack, though.
Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Call in the medics, Frank. Can't stop the bleeding here.
Just racking the bogeys up.
Frank, what about this downhill shot off the tee and the idea that you just want to sort of let that ball run toward the green down the hill?
Well, Pete Dye just gives you so many different looks throughout the front nine of Whistling Straits, and this really is the first example of this. Plus the swirling winds that are created by that sort of tree in the mounding on the right of this green. Quite spectacular.
170 yards. Frank, it's really hard to believe that we are in Wisconsin because it looks like an old seaside links course from Scotland or Ireland.
Well, Pete Dye spent a lot of time in Scotland in the early 1960s, and that's really where he learned his architecture from. So a lot of those features he's incorporated in Whistling Straits. Rich, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back. Considered to be the next Rory McIlroy, our featured golfer makes birdie and moves inside the cut line. Well, the best players have landed here in the middle of the country, and really in another world. There is no golf course quite like Whistling Straits. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And Frank, let's get it started here with the 10th hole.
Not very long at 391 yards. Some of the longer hitters can actually get very close to this green. But if you want to do that, you've got to flash it down the left side. That's a little dicey.
Frank, safety off the tee. Now what happens on this second shot?
This green, Rich, is just elevated a little bit, so you can't just sort of grab a wedge and just hit away willy-nilly. You've got to be careful here. You must flight that shot in properly to make it land softly on the green.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. 645-yard par 5 11th. They call this hole the sandbox, and hopefully, Frank, you're not picking up the shovel here.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you're reaching this par 5 and 2, then you don't belong on this planet.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully. Second shot.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Now, a bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
Early part of this second nine and a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
He needs this for par. That's good work. That's a good par right there. Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Well, this golf course goes back a long ways, to 1878, in fact. We're at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, where are some of the scoring opportunities out here?
Well, normally when the Open Championships played, the breeze comes out of the sort of northwest, which means those first few holes are played down breeze, and then the closing stretch is played into the breeze. So really, you sort of make your hay on the way out, and then you hang on for dear life on the way in. That doesn't really change because you have some rather short par fours to start. Oh, they've had some meat behind it.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Should be safely on deck.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
In the direction of the sand.
It looks like it.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. Good par, good position on the leaderboard. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is gorse right and left.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
He'll need to be strong with this.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. These putts keep the round together. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Nudge this one home, finish it up. So with that, the score is now at even par. A lot of excitement here. Let's take you out to the action once again at the 13th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, just been holding steady all day long, Frank.
A solid round of golf. 4 of these will certainly bode well come the end of the week.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run how it just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down. Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Well, Frank, Royal Troon Golf Club did not disappoint today.
No, it certainly didn't. The old bounce and roll game, it's a game for everyone. You never really perfect it. You just learn it and you get better at it.
And with that, we bid you farewell from the shores of Scotland for EA Sports. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, and we'll see you next time. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Always great to be in Troon, Scotland at the Royal Troon Golf Club, founded in 1878. Frank, it is a golf course, true links. It's bathed in history. Hole number 4, Frank, can you cut the corner on the tee shot on this dogleg right par 5?
Well, Rich, you have to guarantee you can carry the ball at least 280 yards. That bunker that protects that side is the big problem if you go down the right.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. Frank, the Open Championship will be played at Royal Troon in 2016. It was first played back in 1923. What was first prize then?
A mere 75 pounds, so that equates to about 150 US dollars. And just to give you an idea, the last time they played there, Rich, was back in 2004 when Todd Hamilton beat Ernie Els. He got a whopping 720,000 pounds. That's right, nearly $1.5 million.
The money's nice, but every player would tell you, Frank, it is still all about that claret jug.
It is, and that's actually suited the Americans because since 1962, they've been to Troon 6 times, and 6 times the victor has been American. Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center.
Even par, currently.
He'll take par and move on. Now, the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole. A little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, it's been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey.
Yeah, it's not exactly a small gap between that player there and the rest of the field. That gap's got to feel like the Grand Canyon right now.
Now to the 601-yard behemoth par 5 6th hole. You can pay the steep price here, Frank, for a mistake.
You can. You can't reach this green with your tee shot, so there's no reason to even try. A good drive, if it bounds down the right side and will eventually go left, would perhaps give you a chance to reach this par 5 and 2. But this is one tee shot to concentrate on.
And now the second shot here at this par 5.
That was terrible. Well, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one no easier than the one he's just hit. Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Not going so well for him. He has this for bogey. He's made it. Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird and wonderful numbers.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Second shot, good look at the green. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
That looked like it nearly got below the lip, the level of the lip there.
Can't believe that one, Frank. That was a complete horseshoe right there. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Has his par. Now the 8th hole, and if the wind permits, you can take some extra club, sort of get it up in the air and land it softly on the green. I guess the last thing you want is to come in hot and roll it off this postage stamp green.
Well, you really don't want that ball going right either. Those two bunkers down the right side they're the deepest ones, and they must be avoided.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination. And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
This will be the 4th shot now coming out of the bunker.
That bunker's, is it getting more sand in it, or is he just sinking?
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. Didn't go your way. It happens in golf, so just pick up and move on. Frank, too many missed shots and now a missed cut.
Yes, it's disappointing, but the experience gained from playing this course really will be invaluable. Now's the time, just pick your head up and move forward. There's always another week.